Hi everyone, I'm just sorting a few things out. It's a live stream, so just bear with me. And we'll sort some stuff out and get into building some exploration ships. For some unknown reason my event's not doing what it should do, so I'm just going to cancel the other one. We'll go from there. Okay, right. So we are at Jameson's Memorial for a reason, and the reason we're at Jameson's Memorial is that we're going to look at building some ships. It just so happens that this particular station has all of the ships. And what I want to do is just take you through the basics and maybe to a little point advanced techniques about setting up an exploration ship. Um, and we're going to cover all budgets and look at the best ships and the things that you need to consider when you're building an exploration ship about exactly what it is you intend to do when you get out in the black, because that will affect your build or what you need to do that. So if we go into Starport Services and we want to go to a shipyard. Now, the very first ship that you get when you start Elite Dangerous is a Sidewinder. Now, if you're going to do proper exploring, um, yes, you can do it in a Sidewinder. Um, you will need to earn a bit of coin. Um, in fact, have I got a Sidewinder in storage? Yeah, let's have a look. I have a couple in storage. Okay, they both look exactly the same. Should really sell one of those, I guess. But let's take a Sidewinder. Let's get that out and I have too much cargo. I have cargo on my ship, do I? Need to sort that out then, don't we? Let's have a look. What have we got in cargo? Some mission-related cargo. We'll just dump that very quickly. It's probably quicker just to dump it rather than sell it, but let's get that out of the cargo hold. Okay, that's that sorted. Right, let's go back to the shipyard. Let's dig out one of my stored Sidewinders. They are basic Sidewinders, there's nothing special about them. I'll just get one out. And let's see what we can do with the Sidewinder in terms of exploration. Now, you can't expect to do something too fantastic with a Sidewinder due to the slots that you get and so on. So anyway, let's see what we can do. So first of all, let's just refuel it so we get a standard looking thing. Go into outfitting and see what we're looking at. Okay, so this is going to be a template that you will use for making exploration ships, and the format's always the same. It's just that you get more options with the bigger the ship that you have. So starting with the smallest ship in the game, which is the Sidewinder, the first issue we have is that this ship has weapons. Um, Now, again, there are many ways of going about exploring, but if you want to have an efficient explorer, then you don't want to be carrying around weapons that you're never going to use. Absolutely pointless. We currently have a jump range of 7.79 light years. Let's take off the hard points. We're already up to 8.15 light years. We've only took one laser off. Ridiculous. Let's take off the other one. So we're up to 8.54 light years already on a basic Sidewinder. Okay, nothing amazing there. So we need to obviously outfit it. We're not going to be putting any utility mounts on. Now I know that some builds people like to put heat sinks on. I don't know why. I really don't understand that, but let's not worry about heat sinks. Right, now the first rule of making a ship fit for exploration is to make it as light as possible. Okay, there are some exceptions and where you need to consider a trade-off between being heat efficient and lightweight. But if we just make this ship lightweight to start with, in fact, before I just do that, let me see if I've got. No, I won't use it. I think I've got a stored A2 frame shift drive somewhere. 2A that I have engineered, and I'll get onto engineering in a little bit. Have I got a 2A frame shift drive? I must have. I thought I did have. Oh, maybe it's on another ship. Okay. Oh, there it is. Yes, I do have one. It has been modified. Let's have a look at the modifications quickly. 47%, not too bad. You can actually get up to about 56%, even maybe slightly better with a really good roll. We won't fit that just yet though. Let's just see what happens when we go for a standard A-class frame shift drive. Now the reason why we want an A-class frame shift drive is because they give you the best range. So a 2A frame shift drive on a little Sidewinder costs us 140,000 credits. So if you just started the game, yes, you're going to have to go and earn a better coin. Best way to do that is just do data delivery missions, do a few of those, and before you know it, you'll have 1,000,000 credits, or as near as damn it. Anyway, so let's get that, and let's see what happens with our jump range. Okay, so fitting the 2A frame shift drive without touching anything else has now increased our jump range to 18.65 light years. So now we need to start reducing the weight of the ship. So let's go through them all and go with the power plant. The lightweight modules for all of your outloading is always a D-rated. It's the lowest weight option, and this one is exactly 1 ton, as opposed to something like a 2E that's 2.5 tons, no 3.5, no 3 times heavier, nearly. But we want just the basic 2D power plant. We don't need a lot of power in an exploration ship. We're not powering massive, great big weapons. We're not powering anything crazy. We're basically powering our thrusters, and that's pretty much it in our frame shift drive. So, D-rated power plant. Our jump range has now gone up to 19.3 light years. Okay, we've only just started. Let's get the thrusters, D-rate those. We're at 20 light years. Life support, again, no point having a fancy life support system. If your canopy blows out and you're 15,000 light years away from anything, nothing's going to save you. Not even 10 minutes oxygen. So we'll derate that. 20.5 light years. Power distributor, again, derate that. Sensors, derate those. Sensors are quite heavy. 1.3 tons there. Brown shop, derate them. We're down to half a ton. Okay, so that's the core internals done. They're all derated apart from the frame shift drive. Okay. Optional internals. We've got a 2E shield generator, weighing 2.5 tons. We'll get onto the debate about whether you even want a shield on a Sidewinder at some point, but let's just exchange that for a derated one for now. If you've got any questions, of course, feel free to ask. This is live, it's not recording. So let's go for a, we've got a 1, do they do such a thing as a 1D? It's a 1C, that's 1.3 tons, 2D. We'll go for the 2D. That's got us up to 22.33 light years. Discovery scanners, well, if you're going to go exploring, you're going to need those really. Now, I do recommend that you earn up enough cash to get yourself a detailed surface scanner, because they will pay you back dividends when you start scanning planets. Interesting noise. And we will also get an advanced discovery scanner, and this is the most expensive thing on your exploration ship. 1.3 million. Okay, so if you want to make an ultimate Sidewinder explorer, you want this on the ship to make your trip worthwhile when you go out into the black. You know, there are other ways of going around this. You could use different ships, but we're just looking at the Sidewinder at the moment. Okay, so there we have our core internals done. Now we don't want a cargo rack because we're not going to be getting any cargo. So now we get into the realms of what do we want to do with this ship. I'll just take that cargo out for the moment. If we're going on a long deep space exploration trip, you might want to fit a field maintenance unit to repair your frame shift drive if you use neutron stars for jumping, because keep doing that, your drive will deteriorate and you will ultimately need to repair it, otherwise it will be malfunctioning all over the shop. However, if you avoid neutron star jumping, then you could do something a little bit more interesting with your build and have something like a buggy. And obviously go for the lighter version, a 6 ton. And obviously don't forget your buggy. Now that's scrubbed off to nearly 4 light years off our range. Okay, but it does mean that you can land on a planet, it does mean you can drive around, you can pick up materials, and the benefit of that is that you'll be able to do those bigger jumps by manufacturing on your ship with synthesis some extra long jump range fuel. So swings and roundabouts. With that you can double your light range, your light year jump range. So at the moment 18 would give you 36, nearly 37 light years jump range. So that's something you can consider. Again, it's all about what you want to do. If we're going for maximum jump though, then it'll be a case of remove the vehicle hangar and what I would do is fit the field generator or the repair tool, auto field maintenance unit as it's called, couldn't think of the name, and you can fit whichever one you want, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they do use more power, but nothing that's going to exceed what we have here, so you can even go for a 2A if you're feeling flush, but it doesn't change the weight. Okay, so that stays the same. So we've got a 21 light year jump range now. We've got all the scanning equipment that we need. We've got a shield for bumpy landings. and the shield only weighs a ton. And we can actually reduce the weight of that shield with an engineer as well. So, you know, swings and roundabouts. But what we haven't done yet is have a look at what happens to our ship if we engineer the frame shift drive. So let's go back to the core internal, and I'm going to switch out this 2D thruster that I've currently got installed, sorry, to a frame shift drive, and I'm going to go into my store. That's not quite what I wanted to do. Anyway, I'll go into my store and grab out my modified, engineered to a frame shift drive that I have stored. There it is, and I'm going to transfer that to my ship. Transfer. How many clicks to transfer a drive? Wow. Okay, anyway, so that has now boosted me up to a 30 light year jump range, which isn't too shabby. And then, of course, you can start thinking about, do I really want to have a shield? You take the shield off. What does that give you in jump range? It boosts you up to 31 light years. 31.62, so there is that option as well. Okay, but there are other modifications you can do. You can modify on your core internals. You can go to engineers and you can modify your power plant to make it produce more power. Not that we really need it, we've got plenty of power here. You can reduce the weight of your life support. You can reduce the weight of your sensors. They weigh half a ton, and life support weighs half a ton. So you could probably shave off another half a ton between the two in terms of lightening the load. And you can also reduce the weight of your shields, which currently weighs a ton. You could probably get that down to 0.3 of a ton with an engineer, all of which means that you get a better jump range. And why do we do all that, you're probably wondering? Well, if we go to the galaxy map and come out of here, we'll get there in a minute. Just trying to do too many things at once. Let's just come out there a minute. Get rid of that. Right, get into the galaxy map. Okay, so say we wanted to fly, I don't know, let's go for somewhere 17,000 light years and plot that route. I won't, well, you could use jet, I won't use it for now, just go with the basic. So to fly out here, let's finish calculating, let's go back out, and that's 620 jumps with a modified and engineered frame shift drive. 620 jumps. Okay, let's go into the shipyard. Sorry, not shipyard, we'll go to outfitting. And say you want to go for super duty thrusters, which reduce your jump range down to 30 light years. Oh, I want to store that thing. That says 620 jumps. It's going to have to recalculate that. There we go. So let's just not lose my spot. Right, so what I'm going to do there is clear the route and recalculate it because it will not have updated properly. Okay. 627 light years. Jumps, sorry, so not a massive difference. But let's go back into outfitting. let's, I think, leave it there with the frame shift drive on that. I think you get the basic idea. I'm going to store that back though, because I might want it for another ship. Because what I want to do, you know, I want to show you the best budget explorer ship, in my opinion. One that you can take out and have a bit of fun with. So I'm just going to store that one. And we're going to take a look at a hauler. Now the hauler is relatively cheap, 46,000 credits. I think I've got one stored here. Yeah, let's grab that one out. Okay. Interesting that the shields are offline. I've probably done something crazy with the build. So nothing on utilities, that's good. Any hard points? No, that's been cleared out, that's good. Core internals. Everything's derated, which is a good start. But obviously we don't want a derated frame shift drive. So now currently we've got 19.82 light years on this ship, all derated. Let's just see if there's anything optional. Alright, the shields are offline because there are no shields, which is fair enough. So you could even remove that if you wanted to. Because they're quite heavy, those scanners, and you're up to 21 light years. Now obviously you're not going to be able to do much efficient exploring, not being able to scan anything, but if you're looking for range, you can do that. But I just want to show you the effects. So let's go to store modules and just check. So it wants a size 2 frame shift drive, so store modules. I just stored my 2A frame shift drive. There it is. Okay, transfer that to ship. Holy moly! 52 light years. That's not too shabby, is it? Okay. Wow. That is far, isn't it? Yeah. Now nothing else has been made lightweight. So the power plant is still just standard D. Thrusters life support has been downgraded to, oh no, it is a 1D anyway, but it hasn't been made lightweight. And the same goes for sensors. So there's still some weight to be lost there. And 52.21 light years, that's pretty cool. And let's see what difference that makes on the galaxy map. Let's do another recalculation. Now I haven't put a fuel scoop on or anything yet, but then it won't make any difference to the weight anyway. I think it's just finished calculating. I think I might have heard it. Let's just make sure it recalculates properly. So we're on 622 jumps, I believe. Let's see what difference it makes in a hauler for not much more money. Well, 397 jumps, so that's an awesome improvement there. Okay, imagine not having to do an additional 250 jumps or near as damn it to get where you're going. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? But it's not really loaded out very well at the moment. Oh, we don't want shipyard, we want outlet fitting. So like I say, you can lighten the weight of the life support and the sensors, give you a little bit more range. But what we haven't done yet is put anything on the optional internals. Now, obviously, if you're going to go out exploring and want to make it interesting, then you're going to need the advanced discovery scanner and the detailed surface scanner as a minimum. So we need to put those on. And obviously the advanced one, yes, you do need to earn a bit of money first before you go out exploring. I wouldn't recommend going out without them. Although, back in the day, my first exploration ship was a hauler. I did go quite far in my hauler. In fact, I went out, I'll show you. So we're still on 45 light years at the moment, no shields yet. We'll look at options around that in a minute. But in my first exploration ship ever, I took my hauler out to a really nice system. This one here. And there is a system somewhere in here. It's a really nice system. There is a system in this. Many of these wonderful systems with black holes and such. There's a good example there. We've got a black hole. So it wasn't me there. Star Falcon did that one. But I have got a named system which does, I think, have a black hole in that area. And I did all that in my hauler. And it didn't have a shield. So I'm just showing you the possibilities there. I know in the greater scheme of exploration now it doesn't seem that far, but it is a nice system to visit. And I did that in a hauler. And that was nearly 3,000 light years. Which, in my early days, I thought was a really long way. But obviously I've become a bit more experienced. So that was done in an unshielded hauler. So let's go back to outfitting and see what options we've got around what we could put in. Now, when I flew out to that system, we didn't have landing on planets. We didn't have horizons, so there was no such thing as buggies. So now we've got the bare minimum to go exploring. It's then really down to you to decide what you want to do with that exploration ship. Do you want to land on a planet? Do you want to drive around in a buggy? Well, if you do, you're going to need a buggy. There we go. And this is going to make a big difference to our jump range, as you can see. So we've got 45 light years without. And if we fit the lightweight version, we're almost losing 10 light years in range. But with a buggy, you can go and collect materials to get those longer jumps, to help you get to some of those harder to reach systems. And then your only other choice then is whether you want to fit a field maintenance unit to repair your... in fact, no, what am I talking about? In fact, the only option we have left is a fuel scoop. Because without a fuel scoop, we ain't going to get far. And then you just fit the biggest fuel scoop you can. In this case, is the 3A. It doesn't change the weight of your ship, only the power usage. So that is our setup for a Deep Space Explorer hauler. If we now go and see how much that has actually cost us. So if I was to say go to purchase, this will tell me how much my ships cost, as near as damn it. So 2,319,000 credits, and most of that is down to the advanced discovery scanner. which costs 1.5 million. But if you're going to go out deep space exploring, then I recommend that's what you take with you. And this is the sort of dilemma you have when you're outfitting a ship for exploring, and you're talking about the low budget, low slot ships. Do you take a shield? I don't have a shield. Do you take a buggy? If I remove the buggy, I could put a shield on, and that would keep me shielded. But then why would I need a shield if I'm not going to land on a planet's surface? So you have to think about these things and decide what you want to do with these smaller type ships. But there's nothing to stop you kicking off your exploration career in a hauler. It's just about you choosing what you would like to do with it. Okay, so let's have a look at some of the bigger ships. Now, we go into the shipyard. There is the option. Now, the Diamondback Scout, I believe, doesn't. It's got. I'm sure it doesn't have many. I haven't actually ever purchased one, but I'm pretty sure it lacks in slots. Let's buy one and have a look. Okay, so let's go and have a look and see what we've got in terms of outfitting. So, optional internal. Yeah, as I suspected, it's no better than the hauler. So, I really don't think you're going to gain much of an advantage with this. You've got the same dilemma because you fit a scanner, buggy, you've got a shield generator. Well, you can't have a shield yet, you need a fuel scoop. So you've got exactly the same problem. So why on earth would you actually go for this particular ship? I really don't know why you would want to go for that. It's too limiting. Therefore, yeah, I don't think I'll bother even trying to outfit that really. So let's go back into the shipyard and have a look at our next specs option, which I would recommend is the Type 6 transporter. That's right, your next step up from the hauler in terms of exploration ship would be the Type 6 transporter. You get great jump range on that. Let's buy one. Okay, let's look at the options here. Wow, hey, look at that. Here you can outfit everything that you could possibly want for a really long exploration ship. Long duration, be out there for a long time. Let's just fit it out as if we was going to take it out on a long trip into the black. So, what do we want? Basic discovery scanner? No. We want a browser shot, we want an advanced discovery scanner. It's going to be a long trip. We also need the detailed surface scanner to make our credits for buying this ship in the first place. Let's put that on. Okay, shield generator. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's get rid of the cargo racks. We're not taking cargo exploring. Just go away, we don't want cargo. Not interested in cargo. Shield generator. Let's just sell that for now. We'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, that's the bare minimum in terms of internal slots. Okay, we'll come back to that. We'll make use of all those lovely free slots in a moment. Let's go to the core. Well, let's just check there's no hard points. Yeah, we just get rid of those. We're already up to 13.63 light years by getting rid of these. I've not even touched the frame shift drive yet. Okay, we're up to 13 light year jump range. Let's get into the core internals here and make this ship lightweight. So as before, everything go for D-rated. We consider the power plant, we'll come back to that later. Let's just derate everything at the moment apart from the frame shift drive. So let's go for a 2D power plant. As light as possible. Thrusters. We'll come back to the thrusters, actually. Always do your thrusters last, because if you reduce enough weight, you can sometimes drop a level in class of thrusters by rule of thumb. But then that's kind of more advanced stuff that I can cover in a separate video. Maybe not live and do a proper recording for that. So, lightweight sensors. Get a lightweight power distributor. We've got a 1D there. Let's buy that for now. We might have to come back to that. We might not have enough boost power, but we're just making everything lightweight at the moment. Life support. Nothing's going to save you when you're thousands of light years from anywhere. If your canopy blows, you're dead. End all. So let's make those thrusters and change those. Now we've lightened everything else. So we can actually, can we drop a level? So we'll go for the 4D thrusters. And then it just leaves us the frame shift drive, which is a level 4. I'll go for a A4 one for the moment. Okay, so that's an unengineered basic explorer with a 32 light year range. Now I think I have in storage a modified size 4 class A frame shift drive. So let's see, there we go. Let's see what that's modified up to. Okay, it's not into the 50% mark, but that's still pretty good. And also we've got a good max fuel per jump range there as well, so that's not too shabby at all, that drive. So let's install that and see where that gets us. We transfer to the ships. We've got 32.39. Let's put that on the ship and see where we go with that. Okay, that's not shabby. We've now got 47 light years jump range with a modified frame shift drive. So not too shabby at all. And then we get back to the optional internal, and now it's all about what you want to do in your exploration trip, trip. I would personally add a planetary vehicle for collecting materials for longer jumps. So we can see the difference between the two there. One's 6 tons, one's 12. Why would you want a heavier anything in an exploration ship? Always go for the lightweight option. Like that. Don't forget to put a vehicle in it. So many people go out on a big trip and then they go, right, okay, let's get the vehicle out. Oh, I forgot to put one in when I was doing my outloading. So right. So what we've got left, what do we want to do with these? Well, you're going to need a fuel scoop. So always get the biggest scoop you can buy. Now, fuel scoops don't add to the weight of your ship, so no reason to hold back just need to find them. Fuel scoop, there we go. So we'll have a 5A fuel scoop, thank you very much. Makes no difference to the weight of the ship at all. It looks like though we may be disabling the cargo hatch or something similar. Now do you want a shield? Okay, I want to take a shield. I don't think we need a class 5 shield actually, let's go for a 4. Well, probably not even that, let's go for the smallest shield we can get away with. Let's see. 3D I think will be enough. Hasn't really drastically affected our jump range at all, we've still got 45 light years. And then it's just a case of our field maintenance. Is that over the top? Let's just put it on anyway. It makes no difference to weight again. Now, the reason why I like to have two is one can repair the other. And that's why I like two field maintenance units. They don't weigh anything. Yes, they use power. But you know, the first thing you do once you've outfitted your ship, we may come back to the power plant, we might not have enough juice, we could engineer it and have enough juice, so. But the first thing we need to do, of course, is once we've outfitted our ship now, is we go to modules. Ooh. What's going on here? Did we do anything about that message, with that message there? Right. We go in here, and obviously the... Where are they? They're at the top. These need to be left switched off. So I think they're off at the moment. I don't know why so many are all switched off though. That's a bit bizarre. Let's do some priorities here. So that's for shield generator. So we're worried about it at the moment. Okay, and online we come. So then it's just a case about managing your power. So it turns out that I can use the power plant I have. There's nothing here that I need whilst I'm out exploring. If I want to go and take my planetary vehicle out, then I can. Obviously I don't need it right now. We could turn it off and maybe, can we get the shield online? Not yet. Take the fuel scoop off. There we go. So if I was finished doing my flying around the system and everything else, then I've got a good power setup here that after scooping my fuel, I want to go and land on the surface of a planet. I want my shield generator on. Once I'm landed, I can turn my shield generator off. Well, in fact, my thrusters will be off anyway. Therefore, I could then use my vehicle hangar to go out and explore the surface. So no need to go and invest in a bigger power plant. But one thing I can do, of course, is I could just go and engineer it. And therefore, that's an option. And if I did engineer this power plant I've got in right now, it would give me enough power. Now, there's one other thing that I want to talk about in terms of considerations. We go into outfitting. We've just been talking about the power plant. Now we've got what have we got? A 2D power plant. Now they're not very heat efficient, and what happens when you've got a not very heat efficient power plant is that when you're doing things like scooping fuel from a start, your ship gets really hot and making a jump gets really hot, and it just causes lots of extra damage for not a lot of fun. So let's just see the penalty that we're going to have to endure for upgrading our 2D inefficient power plant to a 2A power plant. We've got 45.7 light years at the moment. 2A power plant. It's 45.7, 45.6. It's an absolute no-brainer. Absolute no-brainer. Yes, we want the A version. Okay. That pretty much rule of thumb for all ships. The benefit of weight loss for a inefficient dry power plant doesn't outweigh um, the benefits of not having to keep repairing damage caused by heat and overheating every time you do a jump anywhere that you're trying to go. So always fit an A-class power plant. And now we've got a very respectable, tidy Explorer. And I've not even gone and reduced the weight of things like the life support, which you can do through the engineers. And I think I'll cover engineering in a separate stream. But those are the basics, pretty much, of making yourself an Explorer ship. Of course, if you've got any questions before I wrap up the stream, feel free to ask. But now I think you all agree we've got quite a tidy, nice little Explorer there. I mean, there are bigger ships, yes, and we can work on those on another stream as well. But this one gives you all the slots that you need. It's cheap. The ship itself costs less than 1,000,000 credits, and you've got all these internal slots that gives you enough for everything. Your advanced discovery scanner, your detailed surface scanner, buggies to go driving around in, a shield so you don't have any issues with bumpy landings, 2 field maintenance units so that they can repair each other. This exploring ship that I've just made here is for the long haul. We're talking 6 months, 7 months out in the black. This will see you true. It's got everything there that you need to survive, and a decent fuel scoop as well. And that would be my recommended starter Explorer if you're going to be serious about it. And that has cost us to make. Let's just go into the shipyard and see what it would be if I was to sell it. So that is a £21 million ship, and the reason why it's so expensive is because I went absolutely overboard on the field maintenance units, which were, I think, 7 million each. Obviously you don't have to do that, but if you've got the coin you can. If not, of course, you can always go for the budget versions. And if we just go into outfitting, it's to see how much the cheap versions are. So internal. See, this is what cost all them. I got the 5A fuel scoop. I'm guessing that was expensive, but you do really want that though, to be honest. Or a 5D, you'd probably be alright with as well. The difference in cost is dramatic, and I suppose I should do one on if you're on a tight budget. But if we go to fuel scoops, a 5A fuel scoop is 7 million. A 5D one is 124,000. So it's a no-brainer. And the scoop rate there, what we've got, 33 tons, 58. Okay, it's the D-rated one is about half as fast as scooping, not quite, a little bit more than that, but costs peanuts in comparison. So if let's budget it up, let's just see. Let's make it a budget one. The 5D fuel scoop. It's made out of 5D field maintenance. So that one costs 7 million. I'm guessing it's going to be around the same ballpark. 5D, yeah, nowhere near as much. So we whack that in. And the other one, oh yeah, 5D. It's around there somewhere. Must scroll past it. 5D. Oh, is it 4D? Sorry, yeah. There we go. So slightly more budget orientated now. Let's go and see what that's worth. Yeah, I'll budget that one. There we go, 4 million. 4 million for a really, really good long duration out in the black exploration ship, which self-sufficient, shields the whole shebang. Um, and I think we could look on, after that we're on to things like the Diamondback Explorer, um, quite a popular ship. Not as many slots though, I don't believe. But we'll have a look at that one in the next video, I think. Um, and ultimately, where we're trying to head with all this, which I will cover off in another video, is not my pew pew ship, but Deep Space Dora, which has a 67 light year jump range, and very, very much fun, and has everything that it needs. Um, that includes buggy and everything else. So that's what we're looking at. Whereas Dark Star 1 is used for shooting people that upset me. As you can see, the jump range is terrible, but it's a very heavy, well-armed ship. Okay, right, I think I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this informative. I will try and give you a heads up next time I'm going to do an exploration type video. I do want to do more tutorials. I know I'm being lazy doing a live stream on this, so it's not very well scripted, but I still hope you found it useful, and I will ensure to do some proper recorded, edited, studio quality videos coming soon, because I'm going to refresh my Ultimate Explorer series, but they will be properly edited and show you how everything is done to get them the best they can be. Because obviously we've got engineers now, and a lot has changed since my Ask Explorer um, video that I made a long time ago. But the basics haven't changed, but the engineering does make a difference as to your options. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you on another stream in the not too distant future. And in the meantime, fly safe and take it easy out there. Au revoir.